there, how you doing?
I'm good. My name's Katie.
My name is Son.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Did you find the place all right?
Yeah, thank God my Silverado worked well. I mean, I almost lost the parking spot, but I got it.
All right, good thing. I'm glad you're here. So, first of all, before we get into what brought you here today, I'd just like to kind of go over some ground rules. First of all, my name's Katie, like I said, and I'm here just to make a partnership with you, help us work as a team to figure out how to best address the things that brought you in here. And I'm here to help you connect with any resources that you need. And also, just before we get into it, talk about some legal stuff. So I am what's called like a confidential source, which means that anything that you say here will be kept here, kept with me. There are some exceptions to that rule, however. For example, my supervisor is also a confidential source, so if I feel like there's something that we talked about here that I need some advising on, that I could talk to him as well, but also he is held by the same confidentiality standards as I am. Also, same thing would be if I am subpoenaed by a court at any time, then that would be a breach of confidentiality. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay. And also, I have something that's called the duty to warn, which means if in our conversations there's any implication of threatening another person, harming another person, then I would have to breach confidentiality for that and warn the proper authorities. As well as if you imply that you're going to hurt yourself, then I would also have to breach confidentiality to make sure that you're as safe as possible. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay. And lastly, if there's any implication of abuse or neglect, then I would have to report that as well. Any other things outside of those exceptions, I would need your consent to sharing the information. Is that okay with you? Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay. And also, you'll see me writing notes, but at any point, you can stop me and ask to look at them. After the session, you can ask to look at them. They're for both of us, just resources that we can look back at and see where we've been and how to help us best manage your situation. So from there, let's start with what brought you in here today.
Well, I mean, I lost my job, because Scott Walker took over as a state senator, and he passed the state basically because of him passed the law to cut half of the workers in companies, and my company had to do that. I used to work at this Green Bay Packers cheese curd ISC. You see this?
Yeah.
This is the shirt that I wear. This is where I used to work.
All right.
And my company had to do that, and I was one of them. Mm-hmm. And I tried to find another job, but I got rejected, and I got fired again from the jobs that I applied somewhere else. And that's a problem because, I have my wife and I got 2 kids, and they're growing, they're start going to schools.
Right.
Before that was not a problem because I had money from my parents whom passed away. They just passed them the money to me. And then once we started to move to a bigger house, and I realized that all the money that my parents sent it to me, they're all gone. They're all used.
Yeah.
And I started to feel like, it's going to be a problem. My family has to pay up the rent, and then as the year goes on, we'll have to spend more for the kids.
Yeah.
And so I just thought, I need to get a job. But then, however, should I go for a master's degree and get a job? That's what I was not sure of. I got a degree at UW-Whitewater for environmental science and mechanical engineering.
Okay.
And I'm just like, what am I supposed to do?
Okay.
Still feeling, what am I supposed to do?
Right. So it seems like there are a lot of factors that brought you in here. First of all, like you said, you just recently lost a job and have had a lot of trouble trying to find a new one, and that's been a really frustrating process for you. I could tell that when you came in, you're really frustrated, and that totally makes sense. So you're frustrated about kind of the seemingly endless job search because you want to provide for your family, as you imply that your family seems really important to you, and that it's important to you that you provide for them. Does that sound right to you?
That sounds right.
And also, you mentioned that having 2 kids and having the responsibility of providing for your family has caused this more stress for you. And but there's also this second situation where you're trying to decide if you should continue your education or continue this job search, even though job search seems kind of extremely frustrating at this time. But you're not sure which one would be the best step for you. So that's what I'm hearing. Could you tell me more about your relationship with your family, with your kids, and with your wife?
Sure. You know, I feel angry. I mean, like, even though I feel angry, I still talk to my kids, and I still ask them how they're doing, and I hang out with my kids, so I have a really good relationship with my kids.
Okay.
And also my wife. You know, even though I have an anger problem, like, I still talk to my wife about this, and then I have a really good relationship with my wife as well as, well, she knows my situation, she knows what my family situation is, so she's trying to she actually applied for her job as like a secondary elementary school teacher to help the situation. But you know what I mean? But you never know what's gonna happen.
Right.
So that means I need to step up and get a job too.
Okay. And you mentioned that kind of this anger issue is present in, like, very prevalent in your mind and in the situation. Can you tell me more about what that looks like when you get angry, or kind of what you think causes that anger?
I think it's just that just Scott Walker, the governor himself, pissed me off. You know, I can't believe he passed that law.
Okay.
But however, it's like when I go to trap shooting with my friends, and I just grab my double barrel gun. You know, well, it's not gold plated, but it's still 1830. It's still Civil War classic one. You know, I use that gun, and that just brings me a smile. Just get to just get to like socialize with my friends there.
Yeah.
So that's when my anger starts to calm down.
Okay.
But whenever I come home, the anger starts to build up again.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But when I'm hanging with my kids, the anger comes down and this cycle continues.
Okay, yeah. So it seems like your anger isn't like a constant day-to-day struggle, but more one that you feel more of the responsibility being at home that you should be providing for your family. That's where more of the anger comes in?
Definitely.
Okay, definitely. That makes sense. And do you feel like you have anybody at the moment that you can talk to about your anger or can help you process through the anger?
I mean, like, well, I got my friends at the trap shooting. Then that really, I mean, I talk to them and they actually knows my perspective. They're not like Scott Walker either.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I got my friends. But then, like, I don't have any relation. But then, like, I try to talk to my, parents. But then, like, but then the problem is, they don't. Well, like I said, they passed away, and then I guess my brother. Well, I don't talk to him anymore. He's He's down in Alabama all the way, so it's kind of hard to contact him. So he's just like, well, the anger problem, that's your anger, so that's not really much of a help. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And so far, I just got only friends, and then like for professors, well. I don't want to show that I got an anger problem there. I mean, like that can affect me getting accepted to, master's degree at UW Whitworth, and that's what I'm looking for.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So kind of at this point you feel, although you do have some outlets for your frustration, that might be helpful in the future to find someone in particular that you can share and process through that anger with. And kind of to move on with what you're saying about kind of this decision between education and continuing the job search, what makes you want, like, kind of to consider going back to get a master's degree? What are the factors go into that?
Well, just my friends. Well, not my friends. My college staff told me that if you get a master's, then the salary will just go up. You know what I mean? Like all the way to like 50,000 or even more. I like that, and not only it's going to help my family.
Yeah.
But that's going to also help me. That's also going to help me get a new gold-plated double barrel, and also a new John Deere four-wheeler. And that's another way I soothe my anger with. I drop my four-wheelers with my kids, and kids love four-wheelers.
Yeah, I'm sure they do enjoy that. Well, I can tell that providing for your family is kind of your number one priority here, and it seems like what you said, that continuing your education is kind of your first step into being able to provide for your family more easily. I can tell that you really care about your family, and it's really important for you to provide for them. And also, I can tell that education means a lot to you, and that you want to continue that as well in order to increase or improve your family economic standing. So I think these issues with your anger management that you identified, as well as finding a job search and even making this hard decision between continuing the job search and furthering your education. I think that's definitely something that we can continue to talk more about and look at what resources are available for that. and I can definitely help you out with that. Are you available to come again within the next week?
Yeah, definitely. Like I'll say Friday would be the best time.
Okay,
It's close to weekends, and that's I'll just get my family members to discuss it over the weekend.
definitely. And is there a certain time on Friday that would work for you?
Yeah, like I'll say Friday, like 5 o'clock.
Perfect. I'll put
Cause I want to get some track shooting done before I come here. You know what I
All
mean?
right, yeah. Release of it.
Yep.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
No problem.
And I look forward to see you again.
Yep.
All right, see you, Sarah.
See ya. They took my jacket.